Deep in the heart of the jungle, the air hung heavy and humid. I was on edge, sweat clinging to my skin. That's when I saw him, Johnny. He stood at the edge of the clearing, an imposing figure shrouded in shadow. Not a single word escaped his lips as he beckoned me forward. We moved through the jungle, his silence amplifying the symphony of buzzing insects. Every snap twig, every screech of a bird sent shivers down my spine. The humid air grew denser as we ventured deeper. We finally emerged from the jungle's embrace and into a small clearing where a battered jeep awaited. The silence broke as the engine sputtered to life, its roar a stark contrast to the quiet whisper of the jungle. We bumped along the uneven track, the jeep groaning in protest. Johnny's face remained an unreadable mask, his eyes fixed on the road ahead. We arrived at a nondescript hotel, its faded facade barely visible in the fading light. Johnny abruptly got out of the jeep, his silence returning with a vengeance. Without a word, he disappeared into the growing darkness, leaving me standing there, alone with my thoughts. The night was long, punctuated by the incessant buzzing of mosquitoes and the strange sounds of the jungle closing in. Sleep was a distant dream as my mind raced, replaying the day's events. Johnny's silence, the eerie stillness of the jungle, the sudden departure. It all felt like a scene from a suspense thriller. I tossed and turned, the musty sheets clinging to my sweat-drenched skin. Outside, the jungle hummed with nocturnal life, a constant reminder of the mysteries that lay hidden beneath its emerald canopy. What was Johnny's story? Why was he so silent? And who was this Derek we were going to meet? The minutes crawled by like hours, each tick of the clock amplifying the silence that surrounded me. I longed for the break of dawn, hoping that the light would bring with it some answers, some clarity to this strange and unsettling situation. The first rays of sunlight pierced through the gaps in the curtains, rousing me from my restless slumber. As I stepped out of the hotel room, I found Johnny waiting, a surprising change in his demeanor. Gone was the brooding silence of the previous day, replaced by an unexpected cheerfulness. He greeted me with a smile, his voice surprisingly gentle, breaking the morning quiet. He seemed like a different person, his earlier stoicism replaced with an almost childlike enthusiasm. We ate breakfast together, Johnny chatting animatedly about the beauty of the jungle and the simplicity of life in the village. His words tumbled out stories of his childhood, his dreams for his village, his hopes for a better future. He spoke with passion, his love for his land evident in every word. He was a man transformed, his silence replaced by a torrent of words that painted vivid pictures in my mind. The jeep journey that day was a stark contrast to the previous one. Johnny's cheerful chatter filled the air, replacing the oppressive silence with an unexpected lightness. He spoke at length about Derek, a wealthy landowner, and his plans to buy a large tract of land nearby. His voice, however, lost its vibrancy as he spoke about the land deal, a hint of concern creeping into his tone. He explained that the land was the lifeblood of their village, and Derek's acquisition would disrupt their way of life. His words hung in the air, a shadow falling over our conversation. As we approached our destination, the jungle gave way to vast fields, stretching as far as the eye could see. We stopped at the edge of a sprawling farm, its sheer scale dwarfing everything around it. The air buzzed with activity, Tractors rumbled in the distance, workers moved purposefully across the fields, and a sense of industry hung thick in the air. This was Derek's farm, a stark contrast to the quiet world we had left behind.